single life. She smacked her own ass, been on her for me twice. I said, fuck the single life, I think I found my future wife. Bitch is nice, word is bond. I can't wait to turn my niggas on. And I ain't bullshitting, been giving bras back shots since the 8th grade. You don't believe me, you can go and ask AJ. I get bored, kick them out like Pele. Told mommy not to cry over spill HA.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for joining me. This is your boy NOOZ, aka the Let You Know logo. I am here with Indy's own David Logan, who, if you don't know, is the University of Indianapolis' all-time leading scorer, with about, 2,352 points on that, as well as being the 2005 Division II Player of the Year. Am I right about all that?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna start there because I know there's more accolades, but I'm just gonna keep it collegiate right there for there, and then we're gonna jump to the next category because I see you got about 7 MVPs or some shit over here. So we gonna get over there. We're gonna get there.
I'm David Logan. I grew up in Chicago, born in Chicago. Moved here when I was like 10. So basically grew up in Indy ever since I was 10. Went to North Central High School. Attended University of Indianapolis on the South Side, and I played professional basketball for 19 years.
19 years, good Lord! Some of y'all ain't even 19 years old. That's crazy, man. That's a hell of a career, man. My first question is gonna be on top of that. Was basketball like your first love growing up in Chicago, or did you play like baseball or soccer or something?
Nah, basketball was, basically the only sport I played. I tried baseball for one summer. When I went to visit my dad, and actually told my mom I wanted to kind of try to play. She was like, nah, you got to pick baseball, basketball.
Did she play at all? Your dad used to play? Anybody, like your parents used to play at all?
My dad played a little bit in high school. My dad played high school, but, growing up here in Indy, he was always in Arkansas. So, I would visit him in the summers up until, high school. So I was down there quite a bit.
When you just start playing, there wasn't nobody that like influenced you. You wasn't watching the game. It was just people outside playing ball that got you going. Like who like really got you like really loving you?
My early years, it was my uncle. Growing up in Chicago with my mom and him staying in the same house with my grandma. So my grandfather built a court in the back. We used to go to the park and play. On the lakefront and things like that. Always watching the Bulls play with my uncle and my grandfather, so them two pretty much influenced me growing up playing basketball.
Okay, who was the player that you saw on TV though that was like, okay, I want to be like that? That motherfucker nice. Who was that?
I mean, obviously MJ, but my favorite player growing up when I was in Chicago was BJ Armstrong.
BJ Armstrong, okay, the angel face.
Yeah, how he plays. Small, could shoot. So for me, like growing up, I mean, obviously everybody loved MJ, but right. I was focused on BJ.
D2 Player of the Year, led the league in your senior year. You led the division in scoring with 28.6 points a game, and you still ranked top 3 in assists and steals. And 3-point, second in steals to be actually, which is amazing because most people that score like that ain't playing no defense. So
true,
that's pretty amazing. What would you say is the year where you realized I can score on anybody? Was that like early when you started playing, like middle school, high school, or college? Was the year where you was like, these niggas can't guard me?
I mean, I had a pretty good senior year of high school. Considering that I didn't really do anything my junior year. Senior year, I made a huge jump, and I just continued to get better. I had a pretty good work ethic, so I think that carried me into college, into the pros. So me going into college, I didn't really have any expectations. I just wanted a free education at the time, and I still love the game of basketball. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go as far as it takes. Freshman year, I didn't have any expectations. I just wanted to get on the court and play. Seeing that I'm a freshman, we had a pretty good team at U of I, so I just wanted to play, and I ended up starting after my third game in college. I ended up starting as a freshman. I didn't get freshman of the year in the conference, and that kind of fueled me going into my sophomore year. And I ended up averaging almost 20 my sophomore year, and had a pretty good summer. And going into my junior year, I was hearing whispers that I could play pro in Europe. So that was all news to me, and I continued to get better and better, and going halfway through my senior year, our first like 10 games, I was averaging like 26 points, and we started off the year 12-0, and I started getting NBA scouts and NBA attention coming to my game. So again, that fueled me to keep going and keep getting better, and by the end of my senior year, I led the nation in scoring, got National Player of the Year, and I got invited to Portsmouth, which is a senior only like camp before Chicago, for pre-draft Chicago. So I got invited to that, and I was on the top 20 list for top point guards in the country, Division I and Division II. So all that, my senior year really panned out for my pro career.
If I remember like you said, Division I and Division II, you were ranked up. You was up there with what was it, Darren Williams and Chris Paul? Was that around that year or something like that?
In that point guard of the year. I looked at that the other day. I was showing my son. It was a pretty CT was in there.
Yeah, okay.
Award. It was Bob Cousy Award. So Bob Cousy Award. I was the only Division II player in that list.
That's dope. So basically, like before, like you were saying, you heard whispers about, hey, I could go play overseas possibly. Before that, was there like any doubt with you, or that's like you said, those whispers is what kind of like, okay, I see a light at the end of the tunnel type thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was any doubt, but I didn't know anything about that. Like going into college, I didn't have a OG who played in Europe who could say, hey, you do good in college, this may be a path you can take. So I didn't know anything about any of that. So, just enjoying college, enjoying life, and just hooping. Word. So it just happened to, be a situation or something that I could look forward to going to my junior year, because it was actually an attainable goal.
Where was the first place that you located when you went overseas?
My first deal out of college, I signed to play in Italy.
Okay. What were like any struggles with that? Like as far as like when you watch Love and Basketball, and she's sitting there and the coach is telling the plays or whatever, and she's just tying her shoes and she's like, what the coach say?
Yeah,
like, they just give you the ball. Like it was moments like that.
Very similar like that. Our head coach didn't really speak English. The assistant coach was your translator. I remember the first day I got there, sent me to my apartment. They got me in my apartment, whatever, and I'm looking around, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, where's the air conditioner? It was hot as a motherfucker too in August, probably like 90 degrees. They're like, oh no, Europe, not too many apartments have air conditioning. I'm like, what the hell is hot in a bitch in that apartment? So I had to go get me a fan, and I called my agent. I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? I don't got no AC. He was like, yeah, most apartments don't. So I'm like dealing with that. They get manual car to drive, not automatic. So luckily I had a little bit of knowledge on how to drive a manual. So it took me probably about a week to really get everything in order, and I finally figured it out. But I burnt up the clutch.
I know you got some funny stories about that, about driving
clutch, and we was kind of in a city where it was kind of a little bit hilly. So I'm rolling back a little bit. Luckily I had wrecks, but it all worked out. It was just a different experience, and I tell people to this day, like weak-minded guys, everybody can't play in Europe, because mentally you got to be a little bit tough, especially if you're going over there by yourself. It can get lonely.
Yeah, I like you said, not even just going overseas shit. Just like you said, people just going to college get that, sometimes get homesick. So like you said, going across overseas definitely could be that way. Isn't there like rules, like there's only a certain amount of American players on a team at once or something like that?
That was one of the reasons why I made it tough for me my first year, because we only could have 2 Americans in that league. So it was me and a guy that was a little bit older. He was older than me. He already had some years playing in Europe. So it was me and another American, and the coach kind of knew, like he could tell within like the first 2 or 3 weeks that I was homesick, or I wasn't really like feeling it. So
right.
he told some of my Italian teammates and the other OG that I was with was like, yo, take him out, take him to a club, take him to Milan. You gotta show him something because he don't look right. Like,
You can see it.
yeah, he could see it. So I mean, it's got the club. I went to that club and I seen all them women and just how it was. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm good now.
Yeah, I know where to go now. I know where to have some fun now. I know. Yeah,
I was just like, he was like, oh, that must have worked because he a different person now. And once I seen that women, I was good.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, since we talk about overseas, I'm gonna run through your MVPs. I seen you played in the Polish League as well, 2008 MVP and Finals MVP in 2010. You was the French Cup Final MVP in 2018, Italian Serie A2 Playoff MVP in 2019, and the Italian Cup MVP in 2015, and as well as the Israeli Super Cup MVP in 2012. I might even be forgetting some because I ran out of paper, to be honest. Ran out of paper, but you obviously was doing the damn thing, man. Especially somebody like I said, I know you for a while, and watching your game grow is. I always tell people, man, you don't know you think people work hard until you see people actually work hard and get to where they're going. Because me going up, I thought I was working hard too. I really see what working hard. Maybe it took me to work out, and I was like, nah, I don't know what I've been doing this whole time. But I'm just go through some fun questions real quick since we've gone through that real quick. How old was you when you first got your first slam dunk?
I think I was into my junior year of high school. Was my first dunk where I could really dunk. Back in our day, like they were using those strength shoes, and my for a summer, and my hops increased a lot. So I think into my junior year was my first dunk.
Okay. Name me your favorite NBA star who's not in the Hall of Fame.
NBA star who's not in the Hall of Fame.
Not in the Hall of Fame. Didn't make it.
All right, Chris Webber.
Chris Webber. Ooh, okay. That's a tough one. Okay. I like that. What's your favorite Michael Jackson video and why?
It's gotta be Thriller.
Thriller. For the obvious reasons. Just
Yeah.
Okay. I
That's one of
respect
his better songs. It's gotta be Thriller.
I can respect that. Okay. And then let me ask you this. Who's the best scorer, in your opinion, like to never win a title? Like a scoring title.
Score that never won a scoring title?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mac got one. Karl Malone got one?
You know what? It's a great question. I feel like he does. I think he got one.
Damn, Melo got one too.
Yeah.
That's tough. Everybody got a scoring title though. The top 5 scorers.
Right, the obvious guys. But who's a guy, like I said, like Brad, what's his name? Brandon Roy, I thought was really nice. Didn't really pan out to play that long, so he couldn't really get one. But I think he could have got a scoring title.
Yeah, you can't say him because he didn't play long enough. I don't think he played long enough. Paul Pierce.
Who?
Paul Pierce.
Ooh, that's a nice one. Hey, niggas sleep on Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce don't get one.
Yeah, people sleep on Paul Pierce. I like that pick. And then we're gonna end it real quick with this last one. The game, everybody knows this game called Start Bench Cut. And I want you to pick these 3 players, start bench cut them. I got Steve Francis. I got Ja Morant. And I got Kevin Johnson from the Phoenix Suns back in the day. Start bench cut.
Start Ja. Bench Kevin Johnson. That's Steve Francis.
Okay. I'm not mad at that, man. I'm not mad at that. Well, hey, man, that's all I got for you, man. I appreciate you joining me today, but to let you know, basketball is my first interview with the show. We're doing this basketball show new. We're gonna start doing this on like Sunday afternoons. So anybody that's watching this, like, subscribe, share, of course. David, anybody you want to shout out and see you? I see your son's out there balling right now. So he left-handed too, because I was lefty. So
yeah,
left-handed. He gonna be nice. So if you got anybody want to shout out, go ahead, do your thing.
No, not necessarily, man. But I'm definitely gonna tune in. Just let me know anytime you got somebody new, and definitely check them out.
All All right, well, hey, I will definitely let you know about the Let You Know podcast.
Single 3, single 4, single 5. Put your hands up if you love a single life. She smacked her own ass, been on it for me twice. I said, fuck the single life, I think I found my future wife. Bitch is nice, word is bond. I can't wait to turn my niggas on. And I ain't bullshitting, been giving bras back shots since the 8th grade. You don't believe